1-2. Swung on and miss. Fuchs
coming in right side. Sip. Goes down to the slide and gets it.
Nelson's going to take off on the pitch. Switches it called. Strike 3.
Wes Marshall pitches a ground ball through the infield on the left side. One will score. They're going to wave a second runner around. Throw will come to the plate. It is not in time.
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a good Thursday morning. This is the North Dakota State Class B Girls Softball State Tournament here on the campus of North Dakota State. It's at Theraldson Park. 4 games for you today. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show. For more information, go online to irieins.com. That is, again, irieins.com. For the quarterfinals today, it's the number 2 seed Kindred-Richland Vikings going up against Velva Drake-Anamoose. That'll kick things off here at the top of the hour. At 1 o'clock, you have Beulah, the number 3 seed, going up against the Thompson Tommies here. That'll be in the top half of the bracket. The afternoon into the evening session will feature the number 1 seed Central Cass Squirrels against the Lax Burlington Lewis and Clark. And then you have the 4-5 matchup against the Mayport CG Patriots and the number 5 seed Renville County. Taking a look at some history between these teams for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. They have won state titles in 2014, 2016, and 17. They've made every state tournament appearance since 2013. And for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, the only one they missed was the inaugural one in Class B. That was in 2012. How they got to the Region 1 tournament, how they got through that, well, a 12-2 win over Northern Cass in 6 innings. Then in the semifinals, defeated Hinkinson Co-op 2-1, and then a 4-2 loss against Central Cass in the championship. Against the state tournament field this season, the Vikings are 2 wins and 3 losses. We go from there to Velva Drake-Anamoose. The Aggies 11-4 on this season. They have 0 state titles. 8th place finish is their best finish, as that was in 2019. This is their 2nd state tournament appearance here for the Aggies. They have again never appeared in a title game. In the Region 4 softball tournament, how they got here from Beulah: a 28-1 win over Hazen at 5, a 10-1 win over Washburn Center Staten in the semifinals. In the championship, they fell 8-1 against Beulah, and then an 8-4 win over Hart River in a state qualifier. That was back on May the 25th. Against state tournament teams this season, they're 1-2. 1-1 against Beulah and 0-1 against the Central Cass Squirrels. When we come back, we'll give you a preview of what's coming on across the state of North Dakota. Today, you have Class A going on in Jamestown, Class B here in Fargo. State baseball already underway in the 4th inning between Thompson and North Star. That was 6-2 the last we heard. Thompson, that's also a game that you can listen to on your live event as well. Again, we will have all 4 games for you today here on your live event with our audio-only coverage, and that will be the Kindred-Richland Vikings and Velva Drake-Anamoose. When we come back after this, we'll take a whip around across the state of North Dakota for all the state tournament games that are going on in action here on the early part of June on your live event.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we remain true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
As we come back here on the campus of North Dakota State University, this is the North Dakota State Class B State Softball Tournament here on your live event. Chase Miller alongside with you. Also with us here today will be Joe Morgan a little bit later on in the broadcast. But for this one that we have scheduled for you, 4 games today, and it's been the teams from the East that have done all the damage throughout this particular season in terms of since 2012. It's either been Central Cass, either Kindred-Richland here, or you've had, on top of that, Enderlin Maple Valley, the teams that have won the state tournament here all time in North Dakota. So it's been the eastern side of the state that has really put their hands on this particular tournament when it comes to state softball throughout this season and also throughout this year between these teams of Velva, Drake-Anamoose here to get things going off here for the Aggies. 11 wins, 4 losses on the season. On the opposite side for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, they are 13-3. Let's take a look at what's going on again at Newman Outdoor Field. For Newman Outdoor Field, what's going on? That'll be Thompson and North Star again currently in action. You have Central Cass and Lax Burlington at 12:45. At 3:30, Lemoore, Litchfield Marion, and the Surrey Mustangs. The Lobos are the number 1 seed in the tournament, and the 4-5 matchup will feature Langdon Area Edmore Munich against the number 5 seed, the Beulah Miners. So we'll have currently right now Thompson and North Star on your live event, and we will have Central Cass and Lax Burlington at 12:45. Josh Boyko and Joel Morgan on the calls for you on that one at Newman Outdoor Field. On the state baseball side, we will follow Thompson and Central Cass throughout the state tournament. Here on the state softball side, all 4 games for you today, and then we will follow, no matter win or lose from here on out, we will follow the eastern side of the state, Kindred-Richland, Thompson, Central Cass, and Mayport CG. So those will be the 4 teams that we will follow on the State B softball side. State A baseball getting underway today, this morning at Jack Brown Stadium in Jamestown. Bismarck Century against Fargo Shanley. Also, top half of the bracket will feature the Wahpeton Huskies and Dickinson Midgets. It's the first time in a decade for Wahpeton to make state. Minot High against Fargo North at 4:30, and West Fargo Cheyenne against Jamestown. That'll be at 6:45. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue more with our Irie Insurance pregame show. First pitch is scheduled for the top of the hour at 11 o'clock this morning here on your live event.
Successful teams need a place to practice when the weather doesn't cooperate or the teams just need an extra swing. The Mayport Youth Center provides that option for the Mayport CG School District, summer baseball and softball teams. The Mayport Youth Center is an indoor facility that includes batting cages and field turf. In the winter, the facility is home to the Mayport Ice Dog hockey team. Good luck to the Mayport CG Patriots from the Mayport Youth Center. The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's get to our starting lineups here. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies, 11 wins, 4 losses on this season. Bryce Gutnick here, the head coach. They're out of Region 4 here for the Aggies. They'll go like this. Carolyn Bodine, a senior catcher. Hallie Keller, the designated player, the senior batting second. Olivia Pesa, the junior pitcher, will be batting third here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. Berkeley Seltzer, the junior shortstop, batting cleanup. Sienna Clemens, the sophomore left fielder, batting fifth. Olivia Miller, the sophomore center fielder, batting sixth. Nadia Parenko, the sophomore right fielder, batting seventh. Emma Dove batting eighth, the senior third baseman. Hallie Fletchock, the sophomore first baseman here, and then Brooke Larson, the flex position at second base. So Bodine, Keller, Pesa, Seltzer, Clemens, Miller, Parenko, Dove, Fletchock in the lineup, and then Larson again will be in the flex position here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. Currently in Fargo, the wind is blowing out to straightaway center field. here at Theraldson Complex here. It's 200 down both the left and right field lines and 218 to straightaway center. NDSU put some money into this complex a couple of years ago where it's completely turfed in the infield and outfield. You have the batting cages up the third base line. You have some seats and stands up the first base line here. We expect some good crowds in terms of this weather. It's perfect playing conditions, but if you get one up in the air here today, the wind is not blowing in. The wind is blowing out, and we'll see if that continues throughout the morning and into the afternoon. But again, 200 down both lines and 218 to straightaway center. Currently 66 degrees and sunny skies. Now we go to the home team, the Kindred-Richland Vikings, the number 2 seed here in this tournament. Leah Rowland, the freshman shortstop. Bria Mount, the second baseman sophomore. Maddie Burchell, the only senior here for the Vikings, the senior catcher. Mackenzie Fuchsa, the cleanup batter, the sophomore first baseman. Remy DeBoer, the sophomore right fielder, will be batting fifth here. The left fielder here for DeBoer. You have Jansen Jordheim in center for the sophomore. Anja Essling, the sophomore right fielder. Avery Ammerman, the third baseman sophomore. And Cora Johnson, the pitching freshman here for Kindred-Richland. So Roland, Mount, Burchell, Fuchsa, DeBoer, Jordheim, Essling, Ammerman, and Johnson here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Kindred-Richland head coach by Sam Brandt. The Vikings in search of their 4th state title in program history, the first since 2017. The last time they made a state title game was in 2019. They lost 6-2 against Kindred-Richland. Just the second all-time tournament appearance for Velva, Drake-Anamoose, the Aggies out of Region 4. If they get a win here today, it already puts them in their best position ever in their second state tournament appearance in 2019. They finished 8th. They lost a 1-run contest against Hillsborough Central Valley in the quarters, a 2-run loss against Bishop Bryan in the consolation semis, and a 10-run loss against Hart River in the 7th place game. So that does it for our Irie Insurance pregame show and our starting lineups. We're back after this with the opening pitch here from Theraldson Complex here on your live event.
With Irie Insurance, we are proud to announce our Benefits Connect platform. You will have more options with Irie Insurance Benefits Connect. You have choices. Do you know who your group agent is? Do you meet annually to review benefits? Would you like to save money? Would you like more benefits? You have choices. We take a different approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more about Irie Insurance, go to IrieInsurance.com.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Efficiencies are critical, which is why you need a lender who will find the right loan structure for a strong financial future. You need a lender to look out for your whole farm operation. Ag Country. Experts in every field.
The Mayport CG Booster Club is here to support, promote, and encourage all Patriot sports and academic activities. The Mayport CG Booster Club members strive each year to make events within Mayport CG schools a very rewarding experience for the students, athletes, and spectators alike. For more information, like the Mayport CG Booster Club on Facebook. Best of luck to all the teams in the state softball tournament, and good luck to the Region 2 champ, Mayport CG Patriots, from the Mayport CG Booster Club.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
As we get ready here for the opening pitch between the Kindred-Richland Vikings and the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies here in the state tournament. Class B softball across the state. 34 teams down to 8. You have 6 in Region 1, 7 in Region 2, 11 in Region 3, and 10 in Region 4. But we're down to the final 8 here at Theraldson Park here at NDSU in Fargo. Chase Miller with you here. It is a gorgeous day for high school baseball, as we mentioned. Gorgeous 66 degrees, sunny skies, and we have coverage for you here for all 4 contests on your live event for the opening day. Behind the plate is Maddie Burchell. Cora Johnson, the freshman pitcher here, will get things going here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Johnson on the season, 6 starts and 24 in a third innings pitched. She's got 2 wins, 0 losses on the year, a 4.03 earned run average, a good K-to-walk ratio, 29 strikeouts to just 9 walks. 20 runs, 14 were earned throughout the season. Danica Rath and Cora Johnson are the 1-2, so Rath is not pitching here as we're right on time for an 11 a.m. start here at NDSU. The way this ballpark faces down the third base line goes to the Red River, so that's facing east, going to the first base line that's going right down south, and then you have south east to straightaway center field. Ammerman at third base. This one's going to be high and out of the glove of Burchell, so it'll be 1 ball, 1 strike here to Carolyn Bodine, the senior catcher. Rolling again at short with Mock at second, Fuchsa at first base. Here's the 1-1 pitch, righty versus righty upcoming. This one is hit on the ground, right to Ammerman, across the diamond, 5-3 on the putout, and now 1 down here in the top of the first inning. DeBourne in left field, Jornheim in center, and Essling in right here for a Kindred-Richland. If you can hit one into the gap, you have some room to run, there's no doubt about it. But the way that this ballpark looks today, if you can hit one high in the air with the wind now blowing more to left and left center field, as Old Glory's really getting a workout there, you can have a chance to really put one in play. Hallie Keller, the senior designated player, will step in now. Works with a 1-0 count against Johnson as Johnson looks into Burchell. That one will miss out of the zone. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Pesa batting third, followed by Berkeley Selzer, the junior shortstop. A batting cleanup here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. On the softball side, we've seen this sport just explode over the years. Here's the 2-0 pitch off speed and therefore strike. Now 2-1 on the swing and miss. What we've seen is across the state of North Dakota, especially in the West the last couple years, that is, it really has exploded, whether it's been co-ops or teams just giving it a chance for schools. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That'll miss for a ball. Now 3-1. Calling balls and strikes is Donald Doyle. Up the first baseline is Josh Savor, and Mark Sandman at third base here, our 3-man umpiring crew here in this one. 3 balls, 1 strike. Johnson looks over to the dugout for the Kindred-Richland Vikings up the third baseline. 3-1 pitch is hit on the ground to the shortstop. A 2-hopper rolling snow cones in and able to retire as Keller kind of spun her wheels out of the box and almost went for a little somersault there up the first baseline. She looks to be all right, just having a laugh. So 5-3 to start, 6-3 for out number 2. So the left-hand side of the infield here getting some work early for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Olivia Pesa, the junior pitcher, is now due up here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. But as we were saying, this sport has just really exploded. That one hit on the line and right off the second baseman, Mauk. That one was hit on the screws. And Olivia Pesa will be the first base runner of the day. We'll see if they give that one a hit or an error, as that one was a hard charge, a line drive with Mauk. And Pesa will take first base. So Johnson will have to contend with her first base runner here with 2 outs, and they will give that a hit. So the hit off the second baseman again went right off her glove, but that was on a line drive as Mauk had to range to her right at second base. This one hit on the ground. There is Ammerman. Ammerman collects it, goes across the diamond, and retires Berkeley Seltzer on 1 pitch. So no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. A half inning complete here in Fargo. We have a scoreless ball game as coming to bat for the first time today is the Kindred-Richland Vikings. It's the State B softball tournament on your live event.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
This is Chris.
As we come back here on your live event, it's Kindred-Richland, the Vikings, and the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies here. It's the State B softball tournament again. The State A softball tournament gets underway in Jamestown today. West Fargo Cheyenne going up against Legacy. Yeah, Bismarck High against Grand Forks Red River. The third game of the day, Dickinson and Valley City in the nightcap, the West Fargo Packers and the Jamestown Blue Jays. Leah Rowland, Bria Mauk, and then Maddie Burchell, the top of the order here for the Vikings. As Olivia Pesa looks behind the plate to Bodine, and the pitch that'll miss for a ball, now 1-0. So Rowland, the freshman shortstop, followed by Malcolm Burchell here again for the top of the lineup for Kindred-Richland. Rowland on the season batting .400 with 10 runs driven in and 19 runs scored. This one will miss for a ball, now 2-0. You have Bodine again behind the plate. Dove is at third base. Seltzer at short with Larson at second and Fletchock at first. Here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. We'll get to the outfield after this 2-0 offering here by Pesa. And the pitch. This one is going to be a jam shot. Seltzer will come in field and across the diamond, and it's going to be safe. It's an infield hit. Fletchock tried to come up with it. That one was a little bit closer to the home plate side than up the right field side. So Rowland gets aboard. And hustling right off the plate there was Rowland. She's able to get on base as Bria Malk will be stepping up. Clemens in left, Miller in center, Nechaparenko in right field here. So an opening base runner now for Kindred-Richland. This one is fouled by Mock. Now be no balls and 1 strike. Burchell again batting third, and Mackenzie Fuchsa is the cleanup batter here for the Vikings. Bria on the season batting .408 with 8 runs driven in. She went swinging the first time. Sam Brandt up the third base line, giving her the signs. 0-1 pitch on the way. In there for a strike. Runner bluffs a little bit there, but stays put at first base. Now it's 0-2 to Mock. Olivia Pesa here is throwing in the circle. And the 0-2 pitch. This one's going to go all the way to the backstop. It's going to be a wild pitch, and the runner will go from first to second base here. That'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. So Rowland gets into scoring position on the wild pitch. So far pitching Olivia Pesa with a 1.09 earned run average here on the season. And now she'll have to contend with a runner in scoring position. Kindred-Richland awfully well in the Region 1 tournament in terms of gaining the extra 60 feet when they could. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. The runner Rowland will stay put at second base, and there's 1 out now in the bottom of the first inning. So picking up the strikeout there is Pesa as Maddie Burchell, the lone senior on the team here for Kindred-Richland. She has 2 home runs hit on the season. The only other player in the lineup throughout the year that's hit a home run was Dana Karath with 3. So this is a power hitter due up for Kindred-Richland. She goes opposite field into right center, and that'll split the gap. Rounding third is Rowland. She's coming in. Rath is rounding second, looking for a stand-up triple, and Rath is going to be sliding head first with a RBI triple as Kindred-Richland gets on the board, and now they lead it 3-1-0. Nice hit by Burchell, wasted very little time, inside-out swing, and able to get the first run of the afternoon here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, or this morning, 11:09. So Burchell now at third base. Coming in from second was Rowland, and Mackenzie Fuchsa steps in. Fuchsa looking for the potential safety squeeze bunt, instead takes a ball. Now it will be 1-0. So Burchell able to get the triple here today, as Fuchsa will step back in. 1-0 pitch on the way. That'll miss for a ball. Now 2-0. Mackenzie Fuchsa on the season, batting .205 for the sophomore with 9 runs driven in so far this season. The righty Olivia Pesa works behind in the count. 2-0. Here's the safety squeeze. The runner Burchell going to come down the line now late. She slides in, and she's in there. Burchell waited to see what Pesa was going to do, and once Pesa looked to Fletchock at first to throw it to retire Fuchsa, 1-3, beelining it down the line was Burchell, and Burchell comes in for now a 2-0 contest. 2 outs now, but Kindred-Richland able to get the second run across early here in the bottom of the first inning. Now nobody on is Remy DeBoard will take a ball. Now 1-0 here for DeBoard. So the Kindred-Richland Vikings get 2 runners on. They get both of them in with a Burchell RBI triple, which plates rolling. And then Mackenzie Fuchs bunted that one. But she's going to get the run driven in as well as the Olivia Pesa went to Fletchock there. And then Burchell just came headfirst slide and was able to beat the throw from Fletchock to Bodine behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Remy DeBoard. 2-0 Kindred-Richland here in the state quarterfinals of the Class B softball tournament. This one's going to be missing. Now it's 2-1. And it's something that's a little bit different. We've seen, as we mentioned in the top half of the first inning, softball just continue to explode across the state of North Dakota since it's become sanctioned. And in Class B, their first year ago was 10 years in 2012. This one misses for a ball, 3-1. But one thing we've also seen is turfed fields across the state of North Dakota. Not just here at North Dakota State. Central Cass has one locally in Castleton, Bismarck and their complexes. So we've seen teams play on turf. 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed by DeBoard. Now 3-2. So sometimes you just have to kind of take a look. There is enough of a backstop here at NDSU where if you have a speedy runner at third to come in, but it's not deep enough to where if it always gets by the catcher, it'll automatically be a run. 3 ball, 2 strike was hit up the first baseline foul, and we'll do it all over again. So Remy DeBoard, 2 outs here, bottom of the first inning, with Olivia Pesa working with a full count, looking inside to Bodine. The 3-2 pitch by the righty. This one is popped up. It's a jam shot. The second baseman comes in and able to make the catch. Larson had to fight the wind a little bit. As she did, she brought her glove down and made it more of a snow cone kind of a catch, and that'll retire the side. So nice play there by Larson to get out of the inning. But for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, able to score 2 runs off a pair of hits. There was no errors and nobody left on base. We have a new score as we go to the top of the second inning. It's Kindred-Richland 2, Velva Drake-Anamoose scoreless here on your live event.
The Enterprise is your local precision planting dealer. This spring has been a trying time, and we may feel everything is out of our control. Please remember to slow down and stay safe this spring. Come home to your families each and every night. Please use this time to make sure your planter is ready to go. Keep downtime to a minimum. When you get into the fields, we are here to help you with any planting issues that may come up. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Dakota Heritage Bank is a bank on the go and on the grow, with locations in Hunter, Hope, Galesburg, Hillsboro, Grandin, Gackle, Streeter, Judd, Harvey, Medina, and Red Lake Falls. More locations and more services. Dakota Heritage Bank offers mobile banking and online banking with bill pay, so you can bank anytime, anywhere. Stop in and visit Dakota Heritage Bank today. Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. dhbanknd.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, in state baseball over at Newman Outdoor Field, it is a 9-2 contest for Thompson against North Star in the 5th inning. The 10-run rule does apply in the state tournament as well, where if the home team is up by 10 after 4.5 innings, the game would be final. So Thompson right now trying to get to that mercy rule over North Star in the state baseball tournament. That also you can listen to on your live event. So for the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies here, you have Sina Clemens-Miller and Acha Parenko coming up here. The 4-5 make that the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the lineup. 1-0 pitch upcoming here for Cora Johnson. Outer part of the plate, that'll be called a strike now, 1-1. This season for the Aggies, their 4 losses against Heart River to begin the season way back on April the 9th. This one swung on and missed by Clemens, now 1-2. Lost 9 to Rip against Central Cass as part of the midseason madness here in Fargo on May the 6th, and a 12-1 loss against Grand Forks Red River from the EDC the next day on the 7th. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and Johnson gets the strikeout, her first strikeout of the morning. 1 down now here in the 2nd inning. And then their last loss was in the Region 4 title game against Beulah on May the 25th by a final of 8-1. So that's the 4 losses so far this year against Velva, Drake-Anamoose. 1-2 against the tournament field, playing both Central Cass and the Beulah Miners. One down now as Olivia Miller, the sophomore center fielder, will come in and taking a strike there from Johnson. Johnson, the freshman, so far 1 strike. 1 strikeout, 1 hit against in an inning and a third. Here's the pitch. This one will come, and did it hit her? Yes, it did. It hits the batter as Olivia Miller will take first base. So Miller will go to first here. That'll be the first free pass of the morning from either team, as Natalie Nachaparenko, the sophomore right fielder here, will be stepping up for the Aggies. Outfield playing straight away. Infield playing a little bit to pull with Averman and rolling up the third to second base side. This one foul back now, 0-1. Reminder, we will follow the Kindred-Richland Vikings throughout this state tournament no matter what happens. The winner of this contest will play tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock in the semifinals. A loser of this contest will play in the consolation semis at 11 o'clock in the morning. A little hit that gets over to Board. That's going to be a single, and then the high hop there gets by to Board. So coming in on the throw, do they get her? Yes, sir! Jordheim covered up the play. Then they go to roll into Burchell, who applies the tag, and getting thrown out at home is Miller as Natalie takes second base. So 2 down now as Natalie will get the base knock on the hit. It took a high hop on this turf over Remy to Board on how it just came straight down, but give credit to Jordheim covering the play that made a perfectly thrown ball to Rowland, who then went to Burchell to get Miller out at home. That might be our RDK Enterprises precision play of the game. Mark that down for those scoring at home. This one will miss outside for a ball, now 1-0. What a play, Jordheim. That goes 8-6-1 on the putout to Rowland, to Burchell there to get the out. This one will miss in, and that'll be 2 balls and no strikes. So out at home was Miller, and now the Vikings 1 out away from getting out of a sticky situation here in the top of the second inning. 2-0 pitch, fouled. Now it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. So Clemens struck out. Miller able to get on base with the hit by pitch. Nachaparenko was able to hit just a lazy fly ball to left field, but once DeBoer came in to try to play it, took a high hop over her, and then there was the relay. Jordheim rolling to Burchell to get the out. Now it'll be 3-1. Emma Dove, the senior third baseman here, looking to try to get Natalie in from second, or at least get aboard and then allow Hallie Fletchock, the sophomore first baseman and batting 9th in the order, to come up with runners on here for the Aggies. This one will miss, and that'll be a walk, as now we'll have runners at first and second. So you have a walk and a hit by pitch and a single here, and the Aggies still have yet to score a run. However, Kindred-Richland, just like we're talking about the Aggies here, 1 good pitch from getting out of this situation. For the Aggies, they're 1 good hit from possibly cutting this lead in half or possibly tying this game up, as this one swung on a miss by Fletchock, now 0-1. After Fletchock, it goes back to the top of the lineup here for Velva, Drake-Anamoose. At second base is Nachaparenko. At first base is Dove. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one is going to be grounded, and that'll be off the glove of Rowland into center field. Here's the throw home as they're going to bring Natalie around. She comes in to score, and now runners will move up to second and third base respectively. And Velva, Drake-Anamoose gets their first run of the morning. So coming in to score is Natalie from second base. Emma goes from first to third, and Fletchock with the throw home will go from first to second. And they're going to mark that an error on Rowland, so the run comes in, but it's not earned. It's now in the top of the second inning, and the Aggies have runners in scoring position as they trail it 2-1. So Fletchock put the ball in play. You say put the ball in play, good things can happen, and that's exactly what happened there. And that's a strike now to Bodine. So Carolyn grounded out to Ammerman her last time up to open up this contest in the top of the first inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. That one will be fouled back to the netting now, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way by Johnson. A chance to get out of the inning to try to limit it to 1 run. This one is hit in the air down the left field line, and that's going to be 1 run coming in. Another run is coming in. So Dove and Fletchock score. It's a bases clearing double by Bodine. It's now 3-2 Velva Drake-Anamoose. That was a good hit right down the left field line here for Bodine. Bases clearing double. It's now 3-2 Velva Drake-Anamoose here, as they'll come out and have a little conference call on the mound here with Corey Johnson for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. So Bodine able to deliver the 2 RBI double right now. And how large is that out at home with Jornheim rolling to Burchell to tag out Olivia Miller? Because otherwise it would just be 1 out right now, and the score would be 4-2. So the Kindred-Richland Vikings trying to get out of the inning. They've given up a double, a single. They've also had a reaching base was Fletchock there on the air. And then, again, there was the error by the left fielder. The board as it got by her. This one in there for a strike with Hallie Keller. So Keller right now, no balls, 1 strike here. She grounded out to Rowland with 2 outs in the first inning. And this one in there for a strike now, 0-2 for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Bottom half of the second inning, they'll be sending Jornheim, Essling, and Ammerman, the 6, 7, and 8 batters due up for Kindred-Richland. 0-2 pitch on the way from Johnson. This one is hit in the air. That one's going to split the gap to left center field. Coming in is going to be Bodine from second base, and Keller gets in with a stand-up double. It's now 4-2 Velva Drake-Anamoose. So back-to-back bases clearing doubles. This one via a RBI double. Here for Keller. And now the Aggies lead at 4-2 as they've already plated 4 runs here in the second inning. This one is going to be hit right to the third baseman. Ammerman goes across the diamond. Stretching there is Fuchsa to retire the side. That'll be 5-3 on the put-up, but not before the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies able to get a handful of hits. I'll give them 4 runs off of 4 hits. There was an error and a runner left on base. New score here. It's a 4-2 contest as we go to the bottom of the second inning on your live event.
Successful teams need a place to practice when the weather doesn't cooperate or the teams just need an extra swing. The Mayport Youth Center provides that option for the Mayport CG School District, summer baseball and softball teams. The Mayport Youth Center is an indoor facility that includes batting cages and field turf. In the winter, the facility is home to the Mayport Ice Dog hockey team. Good luck to the Mayport CG Patriots from the Mayport Youth Center. The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
Velva Drake-Anamoose leads at 4-2 with the Kindred-Richland Vikings here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. It's game number 1 of 12 from the State Class B Girls Softball Tournament here on your live event. Still to come here today on your live event, Beulah and Thompson. That'll be at 1 o'clock. The bottom half of the bracket will feature Central Castellax, Burlington, Lewis, and Clark, and then Mayport CG will go up against Renville County. So after 4 runs in the second inning, we'll see what Kindred-Richland can come back with here in the bottom half of the frame. Still on is going to be missing inside for a ball to Jansen Jordheim, the sophomore center fielder here. Olivia Pesa on for her second inning of work. 1 inning against, 2 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned and a strikeout. Here's the 1-0 offering to Jordheim. This one will run in as well and miss. Now 2-0. This season at the plate for Jordheim, batting .225 with 3 runs driven in so far this season for Kindred-Richland. So what can the bottom of the lineup do for the Vikings here the first time going up against Pesa? 2-0 pitch, a check swing. She did not go. It'll be now 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. So Jornheim, Essling, and Ammerman here, and then it goes to Cora Johnson. The bottom of the lineup before it goes back to Leah Rowland the second time through. 3-0 pitch, taking a strike all the way. Now 3-1 was Jornheim. Jornheim forcing Olivia Pesa to try to throw one across the plate. She did. This is going to be back-to-back 3-ball counts here for Pesa against a Viking batter. And the 3-1 offering on the way. This one is fouled straight back to the backstop. Now it's 3-2. Good-looking crowd from both the Kindred-Richland faithful, which has made their way alongside the Velva Drake-Anamoose fans. The Aggies here to Fargo. Beulah Miners watching this game, waiting in anticipation. This one is going to be missed, and Jornheim will take a walk, the first free pass here by Pesa this morning. So now it's going to be Anya Essling, the right fielder sophomore here for the Vikings, coming up to the plate. So as Essling looks in, the runner at first is Jornheim. This one in there for a strike. Now 0-1. Good pitch again by Pesa, right at the knee, outer part of the plate. A lot of construction here at North Dakota State over the last recent seasons as we take a look out to center and right center field. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll be in there for a strike. Outside now 0-2. The track and field getting some new work in terms of their scoreboard, where they're going to put the grandstand. Also just a new infield and outfield as well. We've talked about here at NDSU, the softball complex. 0-2 pitch swung on and misses. Pesa gets the strikeout in her first out here of the second inning. You have the indoor track and field complex, and then you take a look at the indoor practice field that they're making for football and everyone else to partake in. Little renovation with what was the former Bison Sports Arena, now the Shield Center. Running from first to second, going on down there is going to be Jornheim. That one gets through into center field. Going, though, is Jornheim. She gets a stolen base and now in scoring position. Backing that play up is Miller in center. And then you got Benson Bunker Fieldhouse as well, where they play volleyball. Played 1 or 2 seasons of women's basketball. There was the BSA was getting renovated. So they've definitely have upgraded here in the last decade plus. As this will be 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out with a runner at second base here to Avery Ammerman. Fargo has made some renovations throughout in terms of getting new turf, doing 1 or 2 little renovations within the suites. 1-0 pitch, going to miss for a ball. Now 2-0, then it's Newman Outdoor Field, and that you have the Red Hawks, you have NDSU, City of Fargo throughout the years have came together for that complex. So they come to the north side of Fargo. It doesn't take much to kind of see some of the new dorms and high-rises that have been put up as well. This area has been busy the last couple of years. 2-0, going to third base here is going to be Jornheim, and she's able to scamper in now. 3-0 to Avery Ammerman. So Ammerman right there saw the ball get by Bodine, and then she was up, and then all of a sudden by the time Bodine looked to try to dove at third base, getting in there is going to be Jornheim. So stolen base, then a pass ball, and now a runner at third base here. 3-0 pitch on the way. This one is going to be grounded right to the second baseman. Larson to Fletchock. It is a run, but it is a productive out as well here for Kindred-Richland here as they get 1 run back and now trail it 4-3. So Avery Ammerman got the green light with the infield playing back. She'll get the RBI, and Cora Johnson will step in now. So bottom of the second inning, Kindred-Richland gets a run back here via the Ammerman RBI. As she was out coming to score is Jornheim. 2 down now, as this would be pitcher against pitcher here, and Cora Johnson takes a ball, now 1-0. Goes back to the top of the lineup here for Kindred-Richland with Rowland due up next if Johnson can get aboard. 1-0 pitch on the way here from Pesa. This one is going to be hit, and oh, what a snag at first. Fletchock timed that one perfectly as she climbed the ladder, able to bring that one in the glove. That'll be a line drive to Fletchock to retire the side. But Kindred-Richland does get a run. 1 run off of no hits. There was no errors and nobody left on base. 2 complete here in Fargo. Velva Drake-Anamoose 4, Kindred-Richland 3. The Aggies coming to the plate.
basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common. They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hello, Shane with Irie Insurance. We are proud to announce our Benefits Connect platform. You will have more options with Irie Insurance Benefits Connect. You have choices. Do you know who your group agent is? Do you meet annually to review benefits? Would you like to save money? Would you like more benefits? You have choices. We take a different approach to providing benefits through education, communication, and a personal touch. To find out more about Irie Insurance, go to irieinsurance.com.
Farming.
As we go to the top of the third inning here, it's high school softball on your live event. As we're going to have a new pitcher now into the game. Danica Rath will come on here. So Johnson's day is complete. 2 innings of work, 4 hits against her. There was 4 runs. She was able to walk 1 and hit by a batter as well. So 2 and 1 strikeout as Danica Rath will come on here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, and we'll see if there's any other movement in the infield as Fuchsa still is at first base, Ammerman at third. It looks like the outfield is the same as well here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Maddie Burchell behind the plate. So Danica Rath, again, will be coming on for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Anna Essling still in right with Jordheim in center and Remy DeBoard in left field here for Kindred-Richland. So this will be just a straight pitching change here for the Vikings. Seltzer, Clemens, and Miller, the 4, 5, and 6 batters here against Danica Rath. This will be 1-0 on the season. Danica Rath, 9 starts, 70 and a third innings pitch for the Vikings. 9-3 record with a 1.89 earned run average. She misses out of the zone not once but twice. Now it's 2-0. This season, Rath also 67 strikeouts to 14 walks. So after the Aggies scored 4 runs in the second, they'll see a new pitcher here in Danica Rath. 2-0 pitch, missing for a ball. Now 3-0. Danica, a sophomore. That's the one thing that Kindred-Richland has is a myriad of sophomore players and freshmen who are getting some playing time here for the Vikings. 3-0 pitch on the way to Seltzer, and Seltzer will take a 4-pitch walk. So a good start to the third inning now for Velva Drake-Anamoose. That'll be the second free pass in terms of a walk and the third total with the hit by batter. Wind still blowing out well to left center field. We've seen it play a little bit of a havoc in terms of those lazy fly balls getting some extra movement on it. And since Rathis came on, she's thrown 5 straight balls as Sina Clemens now digs in here for the Aggies. Clemens 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the second inning. So far, 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Aggies. This one in there for a strike and 1-1. They've left 1 runner on for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. 3 runs on 2 hits. They have committed 2 errors, and they've left 0 runners on so far for Kindred-Richland. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll miss for a ball. Now 2-1. Still to come at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Beulah and Thompson. And then the evening session at 4 will start with Central Castellax, Burlington, Lewis and Clark. This one swung on a miss. Good off-speed pitch. Got Clemens out in front now. 2-2 in the nightcap at 6. Mayport CG against Renville County. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs with a runner at first base here in Seltzer. As Danica Rath looks in, this one is popped up, and this will be a chance for the fans behind the plates. Good catch. How about the third row behind the plate here from the Kindred-Richland faithful. So again, Rath will come on in relief after Cora Johnson goes 2 innings. But now, just like Johnson, especially in the second, having to deal with some base runners here for the Aggies. As we've seen the wind come out here, and we have a piece of paper that goes into the circle. So Danica Rath will give that to head coach Sam Brandt. Velva Drake-Anamoose dugout up the first base line. The Kindred-Richland dugout up the third base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. That'll miss outer part of the plate now, 3-2. So back-to-back 3-ball counts here for the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies. They've been taking too much time at the plate. They've been early aggressive in the zone against Johnson, but now against Rath, trying to see some pitches. 3-2 on the way for the strikeout. The runner's going to go down to second. The throw not in time. And now Velva Drake-Anamoose will get the delayed steal there by Seltzer. Clemens will be punched out with the strikeout, and there's one down here in the third inning. So Olivia Miller was hit by a pitch her last time up that was thrown out at home. As coming up will be Miller with the runner at second base with Seltzer. Aggies would like to get that run back and get it up to a 2-run lead here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. This one is smashed down the right field line. The wind playing it, and the right fielder, Estling, able to come over. The runner's going to take and move up 60 feet, but the wind definitely had something to play on that ball. So Miller, one pitch, goes on a fly out to right. Estling was there, and then taking up from second, it's Seltzer to third. And now there's going to be 2 down here in the third inning. Nacha Parenko will be stepping up next here for the Aggies. The wind definitely put that more into play. If there was no wind here today, that might have been slicing foul up the third base line. But because of the wind, hung up, allowed Estling to get over there before it was right down the line to make the catch. Nice heads-up base running, though, by Seltzer as well to stay close to second to gain the extra 60 feet. As Natalie takes a ball now 1-0. Natalie with a run scored her last time up in the second. 1-0 pitch by Rath. That'll miss out of the zone now 2-0. So that was the question. How much will the wind play a factor in not just this game, this first game, but the first 4 throughout the day? And we've seen in any hit that's been the outfield, whether it's been on a line or something that's hung up in the air. As this is going to be foul, and it'll be a foul tip. Now 2-1 to Nacha Parenko. And we've seen the outfielders as well throughout the season play more shading down the lines than in the gaps, where they're trying to take away the line drive hit down either the left or right field line and kind of say, hey, the center fielder, we trust you that you can kind of get most of the gap area, and if they just have to split us and they hit the right pitch, then so be it. In that case, with the wind again blowing directly to left center field, that hung up enough for Estling. 2 balls, 1 strike, runner at third, 2 out. This one swung on a miss, now 2-2. Emma Dove is due up next for Velva Drake-Anamoose if Nacha Parenko can get aboard here. Berkeley Seltzer after a leadoff walk at third base. 2 outs, 2-2 pitch. This one is hit, and that's going to be off the third baseman's mitt with Ammerman. It will be a fair ball here, and it will be a runner now at first and third. Ammerman did a nice job of at least blocking that one down and keeping the runner in Seltzer at third base. That will be a hit against her, but still at the end of the day, if you're Kindred-Richland, if you're not able to get it out, that's about the best thing that possibly could have happened in that situation, where Ammerman, if it gets by her, that's definitely a run. Instead, kept it close enough to third where Seltzer wasn't able to do anything with it. So getting aboard with an infield knock will be Nacha Parenko there. And now that'll be runners at first and third. And the pitch. That's in there for a strike, and it'll be 0-1, and they're actually going to give Ammerman the error on that play. So it'll be the third error against Kindred-Richland. So runners at the corners here. Seltzer again at third base. Nacha Parenko at first. 0-1 pitch coming up to the lefty. Dove swung on and missed. Now 0-2 for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. They will be sending the top of the lineup, Roland Mauk and Burchill, to the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the third inning, and the pitch. This one is hit foul, and we'll keep it at 0-2. So right now Emma Dove has to battle. She walked her last time up in the second inning. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking to retire the side. So there were no runs, no hits. There was an error with 2 runners left on base. Danica Rath gets her second strikeout of the inning, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the third. Kindred-Richland coming to the plate.
Doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Efficiencies are critical, which is why you need a lender who will find the right loan structure for a strong financial future. You need a lender to look out for your whole farm operation. Ag Country. Experts in every field.
The Mayport CG Booster Club is here to support, promote, and encourage all Patriot sports and academic activities. The Mayport CG Booster Club members strive each year to make events within Mayport CG schools a very rewarding experience for the students, athletes, and spectators alike. For more information, like the Mayport CG Booster Club on Facebook. Best of luck to all the teams in the state softball tournament, and good luck to the Region 2 champ, Mayport CG Patriots, from the Mayport CG Booster Club.
We have a final for you from Newman Outdoor Field in 6 innings. The Thompson Tommies advance with a 13-3 win over North Star in 6 innings. So the number 2 seed Thompson awaiting the winner of Central Castellax Burlington. That'll be a game we'll have for you on your live event. That'll be at 12:45 here this afternoon. So Thompson again advances in 6 innings via the mercy rule with a 13-3 win over at Newman Outdoor Field. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, first pitch swinging. That one's going to be hit to the second baseman and off the glove of Larson. That'll be an error, and reaching base will be Rowland. So that'll be the first error of the contest against the Aggies in the infield, as Bria Mauk will be stepping up to the plate. And now the Kindred-Richland Vikings trying to get something going here with 3 runs off of 2 hits, 3 errors against. The Aggies 4 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error against. Mauk struck out her last time up, going from first to second, head first, sliding in safely is Rowland. Rowland gets the stolen base here for Kindred-Richland. Rowland on the season, that'll be, she came in with 11 stolen bases. That's 3rd on the team now with 12, and for the Vikings, they'll have the game-tying run now at second base, as Mauk took a ball, now 1-0. Maddie Burchell due up next as Olivia Pesa on for her 3rd inning of work here for the Aggies. 1-0 pitch on the way. That'll be in there for a strike now, 1-1. Talking about the stolen bases in the Region 1 softball tournament, that's exactly what Kindred-Richland was able to do, get leadoff runners on and then try to force the defense to make a mistake, and if they would take the extra 60 feet all the time, kind of like piranhas around the base pass. 1-1 pitch on the way. This one's going to be hit on the ground. The third baseman bobbled it for a moment. Dove goes across the diamond, not in time, and then the runner goes from second to third and rolling. We'll see if they give that an error as well with Dove, as Dove was trying to come in and make the play. Now you're going to have runners at the corners, and it is going to be an error. So back-to-back errors here against the Aggies at second and Larson and third with Dove, and now with nobody out with the heart of the order up for Kindred-Richland, as Maddie Burchell hit a triple to right center fielder last time up, looks to have the safety squeeze on there. It'll be 0-1. Burchell on the season hitting over 500 with 19 runs driven in, came hitting right on 500 to start this tournament off with 2 home runs as well. Runners at the corners with nobody out. And the 0-1 pitch. This one going to be hit on the ground. The pitcher looks back to runner. Now Rowland coming in to score, and it is. So they're going to tire Burchell at first base. 1-3 on the putout. Rowland will come in to score, and Mauk will go from first to second. And now we have a 4-4 ball game. So the old adage of having productive outs, and that's exactly what Kindred-Richland was able to do so far here in the 3rd inning, and they make them pay for at least 1 error. So the RBI coming in with Burchell. And now it's a 4-4 contest. This one is hit up the first base line foul. 0-1. Mackenzie Fuchsa grounded out to Pesa her last time up. So at second is Mao. Coming in to score was Rowland, and Burchell able to get the run driven in. Tough play there for Pesa. Looks back the runner for a second, but right when she turned to throw to Fletcher, coming down the third base line was Rowland. 0-1 pitch on the way, misses for a ball, now 1-1. Donald Doyle calling balls and strikes. Mark Salmon up the third base line, and Josh Savor up the first base line here for the umpiring crew here today. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Mackenzie Fuchsa with the runner at second will hit one on the ground. This one will go to short. Good backhand play on the way. Going across the diamond. That's going to go over Fletchock. Rounding third. Coming in is going to be Mauk, and that'll be another error against the Aggies in the infield. It's 5-4 Kindred-Richland. So Mauk will come in to score. as Fuchsa will get to second base. That'll be an air charge down the shortstop. With that will be on the throw. It's now 5-4 Kindred-Richland. So coming to score was Mauk. She comes in on the E6. It's now 5-4 Kindred-Richland. So the Aggies have had an error at third. They've had an error at short and an error at second so far here today. And the pitch. This one will be in there for a strike with Remy DeBoer, now 0-1. So one out here in the bottom of the third inning. Kindred-Richland has retaken the lead. The Vikings 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second. So far 2 here in the third. The Aggies put a 4 spot up in the second inning. And the pitch. That'll miss outside now, 1-1. The old adage again, take advantage of the infield or the outfield. If they give you an extra out or 2 in a game, can you get a couple runs across? And that's exactly what they've done. Really good pick by Bodine behind the plate. That one was in the left-hander's batter's box, since Fuchsa wanted to almost think about trying to get to third base. It'd be now 2-1 here with Remy DeBoer. DeBoer popped up to the short second baseman Larson her last time up in the first inning. Now DeBoer takes a ball, now 3 balls and 1 strike. So runner at second base again is Fuchsa. 3-1 pitch on the way. Check swing, and Fuchsa will take a walk. Now runners will be at first and second. Second free pass here with Pesa, as now stepping is Jansen Jornheim. Jornheim with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored in the second inning for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. This is the 6th batter that they've had coming up to the plate. The pitch. This will be a bunt up the third base line. That'll go foul, and we'll keep it at 0-1 here for Jordan. State Class B Girls Softball Tournament here on your live event. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Chase Miller. Still to come, 3 more contests here today in Fargo. Make sure you patronize those sponsors that allowed us to be here throughout this weekend as well. We could not be here without them. So right now, a chance here for Kindred-Richland to continue to add on. This one, the 0-1 pitch, will be missed. Now it'll be 1-1. Fuchsa at second, DeBoer at first. And they're going to give Fuchsa, after a ground out, able to reach base on an error as well. Here's the pitch. This one can be hit on the ground to the second baseman. This will be off the glove of Larson. Coming in, rounding third, trying to slide in safely. That's going to be Fuchsa, and everybody moves up another 60 feet. So Fuchsa was hard charging. She comes in. DeBoer goes from first to third, and Jornheim hustling out of the base will go to second here, and we'll see if they give that an error as well on the second baseman Larson, or if they give that one a hit that went off of her glove. And that looked to be on an error on that one, as Anna Essling will be stepping up. And now it's 6-4 Kindred-Richland. 3 runs so far here in this contest, in this inning. So Fuchsa comes in to score. And the pitch. This one will be blocked by Bodine, and that'll be 1-0. So they will give that the error there on the shortstop in Larson. So that'll be error number 4 of this inning. Kindred-Richland has put it in play, and it hasn't been necessarily just directly hit to a second baseman or a third baseman. They've had to move a little left or right, trying to get the backhand. But right now there's runners at second and third. 2-0 pitch upcoming here to Essling after Fuchsa comes in to score, the 7th batter to the plate here for the Vikings. 2-0 pitch on the way. Looking to bunt. Yes, she did. Now it'll be 2-1. Avery Ammerman is due up next. So Pacer right now having to battle the second time through the lineup here for the Vikings. And it hasn't been friendly behind her in terms of the infield, with 4 errors against the Aggies here in this bottom of the third inning. This one will run in, and that'll be a strike, now 2-2. Kindred-Richland so far with a couple of hits. Rolling with a single. You had Burchell with a triple. This one going to be 2-2. That'll miss for a ball, now 3-2. This one going to get by the catcher. That'll allow the runner to come in from third, and she does. Bodine did a really nice job getting to the backstop, but coming in to score is Remy DeBoard on the wild pitch. Jornheim gets to third base, and Essling, hustling out of the box, goes from first to second after the walk. So coming in to score, that'll be the 7th run of the contest. Here is Remy DeBoard. It's now 7-4. Kindred-Richland with runners again at second and third. So Fuchsa came in to make it 6-4. Now DeBoard comes in to make it 7-4. After the wild pitch, Kindred-Richland with 4 runs across here in the third inning, and still with 1 out, and coming on will be the Velva Aggies head coach here as Bryce will come out. Gutneck chatting with the entire team, not just the infield. I think just saying, hey, let's just go make a play. We've had a chance here. It's not like Kindred-Richland is putting the ball in the gap every time or hitting them where our defense isn't. Just take a collective calm breath and trying to go make a play and trying to get it out here. The old adage of mistakes can come back and haunt you, and that has been the definition of the bottom of the third inning so far. 3 errors against the Velva Aggies. They did give Mauck a hit earlier in the third inning. So Avery Amberman looks to have the safety squeeze bunt. That'll be a strike, now 0-1. The 8th batter to the plate here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Contest that started right at high 11 o'clock here, over 50 minutes old. The Kindred-Richland Vikings, Central Cass Squirrels, and Enderlin Maple Valley, the only teams in Class B since 2012 to win a state title. 0-1 pitch. That'll miss outside, now 1-1. Enderlin Maple Valley won the first sanctioned state title in Class B in 2012 over Central Cass, and the Squirrels came and avenged that loss the next season. And since 2013, it's been either Central Cass or Kindred-Richland to win the state championship. 1-1 pitch on the way. That'll miss for a ball, now 2-1. And if you dive into it a little bit deeper, either Central Cass or Kindred-Richland has at least made an appearance in every championship game since 2012. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here with runners at second and third. This one's fouled back, now 2-2. The only team from the West to make a state championship is Delax Burlington. The Lakers did that a couple of years ago, and they would like to do the same thing here and cause a little bit of an upset in this state tournament as well, as they're going up against the top seed Central Cass Squirrels. This one misses out of the zone. Now it'll be 3-2. So another 3-ball count here for the number 8 batter, Ammerman. Grounded out to second baseman Larson to deliver the run in the second inning. 3-2 pitch. This one is hit on the ground up the third base line. That'll be foul. And we'll do it all over again. Dove saw that one just kind of bouncing, took the last hop, and once it went foul, able to put the glove on it to keep it from going fair and also potentially taking a different hop off this turf. Runner at second base is Essling. Third base is Jordan. 3-2 pitch on the way as Amarin's having a great battle with Pesa. Pesa, the righty-righty. Strike 3 looking, and out number 2. Her third strikeout of the morning here. She's gotten one in both the first, second, and the third, and now it goes up to the Kindred-Richland Vikings here as Danica Rath will come on for the Vikings. And Rath hits one up the third base line. That one will be a fair ball as it goes across the diamond. Dove to Fletchock, and that'll retire the side. So Rath is out here, but not before Kindred-Richland able to get 4 runs in the third inning. We have a new score. It's 7-4 Kindred-Richland as we go to the top of the 4th here on your live event.
Loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
Top of the fourth inning we go. Velva Drake-Anamoose trying to get some of those runs back here, trailing it by 3 in the quarterfinal round of the State B softball tournament. Chase Miller with you from Theraldson Park here on the campus of North Dakota State University. Yet to see a home run today, but we've had seen the singles, we've seen a triple, seen some walks hit by batters, and alongside some strikeouts swinging and looking so far here today. Danica Rath on for her second inning of work here, going up against Fletchock, then back to Bodine and Keller, the 1-2 batters here in the Aggie lineup. Fletchock reached base on an error with a run scored back in the second. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Now it'll be 1-1. The Vikings just been able to continue to pepper the defense here for the Aggies and put at least the ball in play against Pesa, and they've taken full advantage of that here this morning. This one is hit up the first baseline foul. That'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Velva Drake-Anamoose here. The Aggies out of Region 4. 11 wins, 4 losses coming into this contest. Good senior class here for the Aggies. Swung on and missed. Pulled the string there by Danica Rath for her 3rd strikeout. Back-to-back case here and 1 out in the 4th inning. Last time the senior class was at state as freshmen, that was in 2019. So a chance to, if they get 1 win here in the state tournament for the Aggies. This one is hit and smashed down the left field line. That was hit on his screws here by Bodina. She rounds first. DeBourne plays it well to get it back in, and it'll be a 1-out single here in the first hit against Danica Rath in relief. But for the Aggies, this is a chance, again, with just 1 win here in the state tournament to try to, bare minimum, have their best finish ever at state. So that's what they're trying to accomplish here this week, and obviously hopes and aspirations of winning a state title or playing in a state championship is always the goal. But the bigger picture of a program here is trying to get back to state like they did in 2019. But instead of going 0 for 3, try to win maybe 1 or 2 games and see if you can bring some hardware home that's bigger than the 7th-place game they played in 2019. This one in there for a strike, now 1-1. So Bodine at first base with Hallie Keller so far today with 1 for 2 with a double. That came back in the 2nd inning. And Keller with that RBI double, able to plate 1 run that came in terms of Bodine. 2-1 pitch. That'll miss for a ball. Now it's 3-1. And it goes to Olivia Pesa, due up next here for the Aggies. 3-1 pitch on the way as Danica Rath looks inside to Burchell. And that'll be a walk. So Bodine will take second base. Keller will jaunt up the first base line here. And that'll be the second walk against Danica Rath. Olivia Pesa single in the first, grounded out to the third baseman Ammerman to retire the side in the second. The Aggies right now 4 runs, 5 hits. They've had 3 errors against, and they've left 3 runners on base so far here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. And the pitch on the way. That'll miss for a ball, now 1-0. For the Aggies, the pinstripes here, that'll be out white top to bottom with the blue pinstripes. For the Kindred-Richland Vikings, the blue pants with the white tops with Vikings across the front. This will go to the backstop on the YO pitch, and runners will scamper up 60 feet. So Bodine will take third, Keller will take second. It'll be 2-0 upcoming here to Pesa. And now all of a sudden the Aggies trying to turn the inning around and trying to get a crooked number up on the board here with runners at second and third, and Pesa with a 2-0 pitch upcoming from Rath. A good part. That'll be outer part of the plate now, 2-1. Still to come on your live event a little bit later on today from baseball. The Central Cass Squirrels, the 3-seed in Region 1 champ, going up against the Lax Burlington at 12:45. This one has popped up, and we'll see if it's playable for Burchell. It is! Burchell came all the way back to the backstop. The wind definitely played a part of that one. It looked like it was going to go over the netting, but as it hung there, it came back and allowed Burchell to get to the backstop and make the glove catch for the second out of the 4th inning. Good job of staying with that one with Burchell, and now Berkeley Seltzer steps up to the plate with a walk and a stolen base so far here today. And grounded out in the 1st inning. So this will be 1-0 upcoming here with Seltzer. Is Danica Rath now trying to get out of a pickle here on the top of the 4th and put another goose egg up for the Vikings. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed, now 1-1. If you're the Aggies, it's one of those where you just can't let opportunities slip past and not at least get a run or two across after an opening strikeout to Fletchock. The next 2 batters reached. 1-1 pitch, that'll miss, now 2-1 after a Bodine single and a 5-pitch walk to Keller. Besa popped out, now it's up to Berkeley Seltzer. If Seltzer can at least draw a walk and get to first, bases would be loaded then for Cena Clements. 2-1 pitch. This one will run in, and that'll be a foul ball, now 2-2 for Kindred-Richland in the bottom of the 4th inning. They'll be sending the top of the lineup up with Roland, Mauk, and Burchell and try to do what they did in the 3rd, which was score 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Bodine at 3rd, Keller at 2nd. 2-2 pitches smothered behind the plate. Now it'll be 3-2. So used to saying smothered in the dirt, but on the turf here, you just got to say smothered on the turf or smothered behind home plate. Really nice facility, though, Thoroldson Park here. Division I softball for the home of North Dakota State in the Summit League. 3-2 pitch on the way. That'll miss, and it is a walk. So the second walk of the inning. Danica Rath, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit against so far in an inning and 2/3. As now you're going to have Clemens stepping up, the sophomore left fielder. And Clemens so far today is 0 for 2 of the pair of strikeouts, 1 against Johnson, 1 against Rath. Bodine at 3rd, Keller at 2nd, and Seltzer at first base as Burchell comes on and chats it over here with Danica Rath in the center circle. Winner advances to tomorrow's semifinals. That game is scheduled for a 4 o'clock start time. The loser will play at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning to begin day number 2 in the Constellation semis. That one will miss for a ball. Now 1 ball and no strikes. See how aggressive Clemens is here after 2 of the last 3 batters have drew a walk for the Aggies. 1-0 pitch. That'll miss outside, now 2-0. And Rath has been close to the zone, but just can't get anything to come through. Just kind of nibbling a little bit more. Here's the 2-0 pitch upcoming as Rath looks into the dugout here and gets the sign. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch. That'll miss as well. Now 3-0, and you got to think that Clemens is getting the take sign here from Bryce up the 3rd base line, giving the signs here for the Aggies. Got to force Danica Rath to throw one across the plate. 3-0 pitch. Now that one splits it right down Broadway. Now 3-1. For the Aggies, this is their 6th batter coming up to the plate here in the 4th inning. Bases full, and the 3-1 pitch. That'll be just missed out of the zone. A 5-pitch walk, and the runners will move up and score as well. It's now 7-5. So coming in to score will be Bodine. Keller takes 3rd base, Seltzer at 2nd, and Clemens at 1st. So 7-5 after the bases loaded walk with Clemens. And now it's Olivia Miller, and Miller takes a ball. Miller was hit by a pitch, then thrown out at home at 2nd. Flew out her last time up in the 3rd to Essling and right. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, and the Aggies have a chance to get one into the outfield to really allow the runners to run around the bases here and try to potentially take the lead. It's now 1-1. Keller at 3rd base with Seltzer, the game tying run at 2nd. The runner at 1st is Clemens, the go-ahead run. 1-1 pitch. This one is hit on the line right to the second baseman, Mauk, and that'll retire the side. But not before Velva Drake-Anamoose is able to score 1 run in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, top of the order, coming up for the Vikings on your live event.
School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. This spring has been a trying time, and we may feel everything is out of our control. Please remember to slow down and stay safe this spring. Come home to your families each and every night. Please use this time to make sure your planter is ready to go. Keep downtime to a minimum. When you get into the fields, we are here to help you with any planting issues that may come up. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Pesa comes on for her fourth inning of work here for Velva, Drake-Anamoose. Some games that have gone final earlier today. We will keep you comprised. It's a very busy day in the High School Activities Association. The Kindred-Richland Viking golf team as a team won the state tournament for Class B at Oxbow yesterday. A final 13-3 again. The Thompson Tommies over North Star in 6 innings. That one again 13-3, and then you have State A baseball and State A softball going on in Jamestown as well. This one, first pitch swinging by Roland up the first base line, will be foul, now 0-1. Roland able to get a single with a run scored in the second. She reached base in the third via the air from Larson at second, and a stolen base and came in to score as well. Roland in the regular season batting .400 with 10 runs driven in and 19 runs scored. Well, right now she's up to 21 on the run scored variety. 0-1 pitch. Good looking pitch by Pesa, outer part of the plate at the knee. Now 0-2. Joel Morgan, Josh Boyko will be on the call for the Central Cass contest for baseball. That'll be coming up a little bit later on at 12:45 this afternoon from Newman Outdoor Field. 0-2 pitch. That'll be in the dirt now, 1-2. We have all 4 games for you here today on your live event audio coverage, and then we will follow the East Region teams. So Kindred-Richland, Central Cass, Thompson, and Mayport CG throughout this tournament. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Roland. That'll miss. Now 2-2. Bodine behind the plate. Dove at third with Seltzer at second. Seltzer at short. Larson at second, and Fletchock at first base here in the infield for the Aggies. 2 balls, 2 strikes to a dangerous and speedy hitter here in Roland. This one is going to be a strikeout, but off the glove, and there will be no throw at first. So Roland will advance to first base here after that got by the catcher right through her glove of Bodine, and now Roland gets first base. Bria Malk will be stepping up to the plate here for Kindred-Richland. Clemens in left with Miller in center. Nacho Parenko in right field. A 2-run lead here. It's been a little back and forth throughout the morning into the afternoon. This one going to be in the turf for a ball as Mock will take a ball. So far a single in the third and struck out in the first. 1 ball, no strikes here to the Kindred-Richland number 2 batter as Kindred-Richland has scored at least a run so far in every inning today. This one will miss for the outer part of the plate as we're now past the noon hour here. Now 2-0 for the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies. 4 runs in the second, 1 run in the fourth inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch upcoming by Pesa. This one is hit on the screws right up the middle, and that's into center field. Going from first to third is going to be Roland here as the softball will come back into play, but it'll go over the shortstop at Seltzer. So scampering to second base is Mock, and now runners will be in scoring position here for the Vikings. Roland at third. Bria goes to second. That'll be a hit, and then that should be an error on the throw to allow the runner from Mock to go from first to second base, as runners will be at second and third with Maddie Burchell. Burchell with a pair of RBIs so far here today, and she'll take one outside for the ball. That'll be 1-0. So Burchell with a triple in the first inning, had a run driven in as well in the third via the ground out back to Pesa. Here's the 1-0 pitch upcoming. This one was hit foul, and that'll be 2, make it 1-1. The Kindred-Richland Vikings You've done about as much as you can with the hits today. They've taken full advantage of the errors by Velva Aggies, and they have made Velva Drake-Anamoose pay so far for those errors as well. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed by Burchell, now 1-2. Burchell rolls up the sleeves both on the left and right-hand side. She's trying to get one in the outfield here, or the infield again for the corners, playing even with the Bigs. Second and shortstop playing at their normal positions. Burchell hits one up the third baseline foul. So if Burchell can at least get one past Pesa in the circle, more than likely would drive in another run. If she hits one right to the corners here, we'll see what the play is for Kindred-Richland. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pesa looking in again to Burchell and the pitch. 1-2 pitch out of the zone for the rise ball, now 2-2. 7-5, Kindred-Richland. They would like to add on a couple more and get some insurance. 7 innings of high school softball is scheduled. And the 2-2 pitch. This one will miss and run in. The runners will stay put. Taking a big lead was Roland, and then Mauk was about between second and third to see if Roland was going to go. Now 3-2. Burchell, 1 ball away from getting bases loaded here with Mackenzie Fuchsa due up. Pesa trying to get a punch out here and get out number 1 of the 4th. 3-2 pitch. This one is going to be hit to the third baseman. Dove goes across the diamond, 5-3 on the putout, but Burchell is able to collect the run to come in. It's now 8-5. So Burchell's going to be out. The run does come in with Roland. It's now 8-5, Kindred-Richland. So Roland will come home. Mauk will take third base, and Burchell will go 5-3, but get the RBI here. It's now 8-5 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the umpires are going to talk it over and think that, hey, maybe Dove's throw to Fletchock. Fletchock was off the base, and they're going to say, yes, she's safe. So Burchell will now be given first base here, and that's going to bring Bryce out of his dugout and talk it over, because number 1, you take a out off the board, but number 2, you allow Kindred-Richland to get a runner on here with still nobody out, and now runners will be at the corners. So 8-5 after Burchell gets the RBI single. Burchell so far today with 3 runs driven in here for Kindred-Richland. So Burchell will be at first base, and Mauk will be at third base, and they're going to say that it's going to be an error on that play now, as going from first to second is going to be Burchell. So they're going to say the error on the throw that had to make Fletchock come off the base, and the pitch. This will miss. And will be 2 balls and no strikes here. Mackenzie Fuchsa grounded out in the first. Reached base with a run scored in the third via the error from Seltzer at short. 2 balls, no strikes, and now all of a sudden, a base knock here could really open the game up in the 4th inning. This one will be in there for a strike now, 2-1. Contest that started right at 11 o'clock here. And currently with runners at second and third here for Kindred-Richland. Fuchsa looks in against the pitcher and pops one up. This one going to be into short center field, coming in, and that's off the left fielder's glove. Clemens, 1 run is coming in. Coming in from second base here is Burchell. She comes in with a head-first slide, and it's now 10-5, Kindred-Richland. Trying to charge for that one again was the left fielder Clemens. And they're going to give that a base knock, as Fuchsa will get the base knock. Coming in to score is Mauk, also coming in is Burchell. It's now 10-5 after the Fuchsa 2 RBI base knock. And now all of a sudden you start thinking about the mercy rule a little bit here. If Remy DeBoard can get on base, if Kindred-Richland can get 5 more runs across here, there's still nobody out in the 4th inning. We would be talking about a mercy rule then in the top of the 5th. Looking to bunt that one. Yes, she did, Remy DeBoard. It's now 0-2. On the opposite side for the Aggies, they're just looking to get their first out here of the 4th inning and try to minimize the damage where it's already been 3 runs across for Kindred-Richland. So runner at third base now after the steal is Fuchsa. And Fuchsa's going to come in. DeBoard hits one to second. That's in there in time for the out. Good play by Larson to Fletchock. But coming in to score now with one out is going to be Fuchsa. It's now 11-5 Vikings. So Jordan will be batter number 6 here for Kindred-Richland coming to the plate. Jordan with a walk and a stolen base in the second, reach base on the third in the third inning via the air, and she takes a strike here now 0-1. So 11-5 as Fuchsa comes in after the board RBI. 0-1 pitch. They're going to check, and yes, says Josh Savor. That'll be now 0-2. Kindred-Richland, the number 2 seed, the number 3 seed in this tournament. The Beulah Miners going up against the Region 2 runner-up in the Thompson Tommies. That'll be coming up next at scheduled 1 o'clock, but it might be a little bit later on depending on how this game finishes, as both teams will get the infield to get their introductions as well for their starting lineups before the contest. 1-2 pitch on the way. This one is hit, but foul up the first base line. It'll be 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Pitch on the way. That'll miss. And actually, that'll be in there for strike 3 here to Jordan. Marcel, it looked like it might have been a little outside, but that'll be a strikeout call. It's now 11-5 Kindred-Richland with 2 outs here after the 4th strikeout with Pesa. Pesa misses that time with Ellenson, as Anya will be 0 for 1 today with a walk and struck out as well in the second inning. Start this game off with not a cloud in the sky. Now we're starting to see some clouds make their way through here the Fargo area. 1-0 pitch will miss, as it'll be now 2-0 here to Essling, the sophomore right fielder. Batter number 7 here in the lineup for Kindred-Richland. A 4 spot in the 4th, 4 spot in the 3rd. 2-0 pitch misses outside. Now 3-0. 1 run in the second and 2 runs in the first inning as well for the Vikings. The Vikings offense has definitely came here to Fargo so far in this one. Swung on, good rip. Now 3-1 here to Essling. 3 balls, 1 strike here. Avery Ammerman is due up next if Essling can get aboard. Pitch upcoming. This one is fouled back to the netting. Now it'll be 3-2. Take a look at the Vikings so far this season in terms of what they've been able to do, and runs per game averaging 10. Well, they're past that right now with 11 so far. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That'll miss for a ball. That'll be walk number 4 here by Pesa, and the Vikings get a 2-out base runner here in the bottom of the 4th inning. But going back to the Kindred-Richland Vikings, most runs they've scored this season, 16 against Williston in a 16-14 win from the Fargo midseason madness. This will be a ball here to Avery Ammerman. Ammerman with a run driven in the second and strikeout looking in the 3rd. Able to score 14 against the Hornets of Harvey-Wells County, and then 13 against Enderlin, 13 against Northern Cass, and 12 against Northern Cass in the Region 1 tournament. This one gets by the catcher, Bodine, so it'll be 2 balls, no strikes, and the runner from first base, Essling, now at second base here for Kindred-Richland. So you see the Vikings been consistent in terms of getting runners on, causing some havoc in the base pass, and then timely hitting throughout the season, and we're seeing that here again. 2-0 pitch on the way. Ammerman hits one on the ground. The shortstop can't get there, and Seltzer rounding third as Essling seems coming in, and Ammerman has an RBI single here for Kindred-Richland. It's now 12-5 Vikings. Tough play there for Seltzer. She had to go to her left-hand side, and she stretched out for it, but the softball was a good 2 feet in front of her. So an RBI single for Ammerman now, and you're going to have Danica Rath coming up to the plate here for Kindred-Richland. And as we mentioned before, if it gets to that 10-run lead, all of a sudden you start talking about the mercy rule here. So Rath will try to get aboard, and then it goes back to the top of the lineup. That's in there for a strike now, 0-1. Rath grounded out to the third baseman, Dove, to finish the third inning. So back-to-back innings here for Kindred-Richland, where they've sent all 9 batters to the plate. 0-1 pitch is hit in the air. That's to right. And that one's going to die in for the right fielder, going from first to third as Ammerman. And Danica Rath gets aboard with a 2-out single. So runners at the corners now, and now it's Leah Rowland. Nacha Parenko was trying as best as possible, but fighting the wind a little bit. Here's Kindred-Richland will make a courtesy runner as Riley Rankin will come on. So Rankin will be at first base, Ammerman at third. And now you're going to have Leah Rowland, who's able to reach base 3 different times today. A single in the first, an error in the third, and a strikeout, but it went through the catcher's mitt in Bo Dean, and she scored all 3 times so far as well. So we'll see what comes up here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings with 3 runs so far scored for Rowland. And if Rowland, as an example, hits one out of the park, it would be a 10-run rule variety would come in play, or an inside-the-park home run. Rowland will take a ball. Going from first to second is Rankin, and Rowland's up for her 4th time here today as she takes a ball. So right now, if the runners come in, Ammerman, Rankin, and Rowland in this inning, we would be talking about 3 outs, and the game would be done via the mercy rule in the 5th. So the Aggies got to get an out here. 1-0 pitch. That'll miss. Now 2-0 on the opposite side if you're head coach Sam Brandt. Just keep the line moving. Try to get to that 10-run spot and then try to get out of this contest with just 4.5 innings against. 2-0 pitch upcoming. That'll miss for a ball. Now it's 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs here in the 5th inning, with Bria Mauk is due up next here for the Vikings. 3-0 pitch upcoming. Taking the entire way as a strike. Now it's 3-1 to Rowland. So Rowland trying to see if Pesa can split the plate. Olivia was able to do so that time. It's now 3-1 with 2 outs here. Runner at third again is Ammerman, Rankin at second. And the pitch upcoming. This one will run in, get by the catcher. Coming in to score is going to be Ammerman. Runners will be at first and third, and going from first to second now is going to be Rowland. So there was no time called, and Rowland immediately rounded first base to get to second. And that'll be the walk. Coming in to score is going to be Ammerman. Rankin gets to third, and now runners will be at first and second base. It's a 13-5 contest, and we'll see if we have a pitching change here, as Pace are going to try to close this one off. And now you have Mauk coming up to the plate. And if Mauk is able to hit one into the gap or able to get one in the outfield, you know coming in with Rowland's speed would be a 2 RBI variety. It's now 13-5 Kindred-Richland with 6 runs so far here in the 4th inning. So coming in is going to be Ammerman on the wild pitch. So in this inning, Ammerman with a run driven in, a run scored as well. And now Pesa will come back again and in the circle. So Bria will be coming up to the plate. So far today, struck out in the first, reached base with a single in the third and scored a run, and reached base in the 4th and scored a run as well. Top of the lineup today, they've done a little bit of everything. Birchall with a triple, 3 runs driven in. You have a couple of singles, and so far the top of the lineup has scored 7 of the 13 runs here for Kindred-Richland. So Rankin at third base. First pitch swinging there is going to be Mauk. Goes across the diamond here for the third baseman. Not in time. It's one-hopped. Dove one-hopped it to Fletchock. The run comes in, and now it's a 14-5 ball game. So that one was a one-hopper to Fletchock here, and we'll see how they mark it, if that's an error or not, or if they give the base knock. Regardless, Rankin comes in to score. And now you're going to have Rowland at third base as Mauk will be at first. And now all of a sudden if Birchall can deliver the RBI, that would make it a 10-run ball game. Or potentially, if a ball gets by the backstop, is going from first to second base is going to be Mauk with no run or no throw given. They will mark that as an error here, as that'll be the 5th one here for the Aggies. This one is going to be hit on the ground. A tough one for Larson. Larson comes in time to retire the side. Larson had a play that one. It had a little hop that came around on it and then spun a little bit more from first to second, stayed with it, and retired to get to Fletchock. So the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies give up 7 runs in the 4th inning as we have a new score, 14-5, Kindred-Richland, as we go to the 5th on your live event.
Bank is a bank on the go and on the grow, with locations in Hunter, Hope, Galesburg, Hillsborough, Grandin, Gackle, Streeter, Judd, Harvey, Medina, and Red Lake Falls. More locations and more services. Dakota Heritage Bank offers mobile banking and online banking with bill pay, so you can bank anytime, anywhere. Stop in and visit Dakota Heritage Bank today. Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. dhbanknd.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Go to the top of the 5th inning. After 7 runs, 4 hits, there was a couple of errors and 2 runners left on base. The Kindred-Richland Vikings put up 7 runs in the 4th, and they lead at 14-5 as you're going to have Fuchsa, DeBoard, and Jortheim due up in the 5th inning. But here for Velva Drake-Anamoose, they will be sending their bottom of the order here in Nachaparenko, Dove, and Fletchock. They are 7, 8, and 9 batters here for the Aggies, and they have some work to do in front of them. If you're just joining us, Cora Johnson started the game off for a Kindred-Richland. She gave up a 2-out single in the first, and then Velva Drake-Anamoose able to get 4 runs across off of 3 hits, 2 errors, and a runner left on base in the second. And at that time, it was a 4-2 ball game going to the bottom of the 2nd inning. But since then, 12 runs have been scored by Kindred and just 1 run by the Aggies. Danica Rath has come on, 2 innings of work, 1 hit, 1 run against her with 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. The Vikings just making the Aggies pay for every error so far here today. Nachaparenko will be coming up here, and she takes a ball against Danica Rath. So right now, the Aggies need to try to get a run or 2 across here. 1, to get this a little bit closer to have a chance later in the game against 7 innings of baseball. This one is softball. This one is hit on the ground foul as Ammerman gloved it just in front of the 3rd base line, but foul. 7 innings in high school softball, and then there is, if no runs come across to the Aggies and Kindred-Richland gets 1 run in the bottom of the 5th, that would be the ball game, and it will be a 10-run rule variety. This one hit in the air, and that'll be a nice little start. This one jammed Natalie, but Natalie able to fist that one off and send it into short left field as Remy DeBoer brings it back in. It's a leadoff single here for the Aggies. So Nachaparenko with 2 singles today. Her last single, she was able to come in the 2nd. So Emma Dove is due up next. And we'll see a new batter into the contest here for Velva Drake-Anamoose as Gail Hudkins, Abigail her full name, but they give her Gail for short. So she'll come in here with the runner at first base again in Natalie. So Hudkins will be coming in. Outfield plays second base here for Bryce and the Aggies. So Danica Rath will have to work off with a leadoff single here. That one misses for a ball. That'll be 1-0. Kindred-Richland's had a pretty good, successful season when you take a look at their sports, and if you talk with folks around the Kindred-Richland area, they will say, specifically in Kindred, this one's going to be hit on the ground. Burchell loses her mash, tries to go to first. In time, no, that'll be off the first baseman's glove, backed up by Essling, but that'll allow the runner to scamper to 3rd base here in Ottilie. So Nachaparenko will go from 1st to 3rd. Dove is able to get aboard with an infield single, and that'll be back-to-back hits here for the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies with runners at the corners. So going back to Kindred, they were able to win the state football championship this year in the 11B. Their volleyball team able to make a good run as well in the Region 1 volleyball tournament in the regular season. Talk about a Kindred team that went perfect and won the championship in girls basketball, head coached by Sam Brandt. This one swung on a miss by Fletchock, now 0-1. And now see what their softball team is doing. Boys basketball, runners up in State B boys hoops, track and field champs, Class B all-tournament or all team champs in Class B golf. This one is going to be a C&I single to right. Coming in to score from third is Natalie. Going to second is Emma Dove, and Fletchock gets the RBI single. It's now 14-6. So that'll be a run against Danica Rath here. It's now 14-6 in the top of the fifth inning with the RBI single by Fletchock. Swung on and missed here with Carolyn Bodine. It's now 0-1. Bodine grounded out to Ammerman to open this game up over an hour and a half ago. Then got a double with a run scored in the second and a single with a run scored in the fourth. She hits one to the second baseman here, tagging and going to first. What a play by Rowland. They tag the lead runner, Dove, at shortstop, then fires it Peta Fuchsa at first base. 2 down now with a runner at second. So Bodine will go 6-3 on the double play there. But what a play again by Rowland, as this one's going to be hit up the third baseline foul. Now 0-1 to Hallie Keller. Rowland smartly, she could have done one or two things in that situation. She could have tried to just get the lead runner at third base and get one out, but she saw the runner in front of her and said, you know what? You're here, so I'm going to tag you quickly and then throw it to Fuchs at first to get the batter out. And now the third baseman, Ammerman, gloves it, goes across a diamond, not in time. Ammerman had a chance at that one. She had it in her glove for a second, and then Keller able to hustle up to first, so now runners will be at the corners. But again, really nice play by Rowland there to get 2 down, and they'll make that an error, so that'll be the 4th error of the contest here on Kindred-Richland. So far, 9 errors combined today. 14-6, Kindred-Richland over the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies. Velva Drake-Anamoose on the season came in averaging 11 runs per contest, batting at .370 as a team. This one's going to be hit. Ammerman has another chance. Can't. The second baseman goes across. Rowland not in time. It's now 14-7. So coming in to score here for the Aggies is going to be Fletchock. Going from first to second is Keller, and Pesa is able to get aboard. They're going to give that a base knock there, as these players have had maybe a difficult time a little bit with this turf, maybe taking a higher bounce than what they have thought so far from the regular season. As 2 runs across here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. This one's foul. Now 1-1 with Berkeley Seltzer. Seltzer with a pair of walks, a stolen base in the 3rd inning. 0-for-1 today. And now Maddie Birchall's going to come out and talk with Danica Rath in the circle here, making sure they got the signs all good to go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here. As for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, these 2 runs come across, and for Velva Drake-Anamoose, it gives them a little breathing room as well in the bottom of the 3rd. But on the opposite side here for Kindred-Richland, now you're going to have some more work to do in the bottom of the 5th if you wanted to try to 10-run rule the Aggies. But we got a football score for you in Fargo. 14-7 Kindred-Richland right now over Velva Drake-Anamoose, and the Aggies trying to add on some more. A good off-speed pitch there by Danica Rath. Now make it 1-2 to Seltzer. Cena Clemens is due up next. This one going to miss for a ball. That'll be 2-2. Still to come. After this contest, Beulah and Thompson, the minors, the number 3 seed. The Tommies were a random draw. 2-2 pitch up the third base dugout. That'll be a ball. That game is scheduled for 1 o'clock. That might be a little bit later than the 1 o'clock hour. 4 o'clock, Central Cass and Lax Burlington in the 1 matchup here for the Squirrels. The top seed 4-5 will feature Mayport CG and Renville County. This one hops to Birchall behind the plate. Now 3-2 to Seltzer. So runner at second base is Keller. At first base is Pesa. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And if Seltzer can put one in play, see how far they can go. This one swung on and missed. Instead, Rath gets the strikeout. That's going to be her 4th of the afternoon, but not before Velva Drake-Anamoose is able to get 3 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 14-7 game here on your live event.
Successful teams need a place to practice when the weather doesn't cooperate or the teams just need an extra swing. The Mayport Youth Center provides that option for the Mayport CG School District, summer baseball and softball teams. The Mayport Youth Center is an indoor facility that includes batting cages and field turf. In the winter, the facility is home to the Mayport Ice Dog hockey team. Good luck to the Mayport CG Patriots from the Mayport Youth Center.
14-7, Kindred-Richland over Velva Drake-Anamoose here on your live event. It's the State Class B softball tournament here today from Fargo, where it's a gorgeous weekend. Last week, State Track and Field in Bismarck was in the upper 70s, the low 80s. Couldn't ask for really better weather for State Track and Field, and if we can get this kind of a day for the next 2 days in Fargo, about perfect as well. Maybe a little windy where you got to bring a jacket on if you're in the crowd, but for the most part, gorgeous day here with just the wind blowing out to left center field. That's probably the only thing that fans that are in the stands would like to see, something a little bit different, that wind go down. But regardless, 14-7, Kindred-Richland here, as we're going to have a new pitcher into the contest. A lefty now for the Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies. Sienna Clemens will come on here to pitch for the Aggies. So we'll see what's going to happen in terms of the outfield, as Clemens was in left field. In left field now is going to be Hudkins. Let's see who's still in center for the Aggies. Is that still Olivia Miller? And right field is still Nacha Parenko. At second base here for the Aggies, you have Brooke Larson still. Seltzer is still at shortstop. At third base for Velva Drake-Anamoose is going to be Pesa. So Pesa goes to third. And at first base now for Velva Drake-Anamoose, that'll still be Fletchak. So Pesa is going to go to third base. Clemens goes to the circle. And then Hudkins now will be in left field here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. The lefty winds and delivers against Mackenzie Fuchsa. Fuchsa, a pair of runs scored so far, able to reach base on her last 2 times in the third and the fourth inning. Will be 1-0. So Kindred-Richland right now needs 3 runs to put this game to bed. If they're unable to do so, anything under 3, Velva Drake-Anamoose Aggies will have another chance to come up to the plate and try to get into this deficit, as they're currently down to potentially their final outs, or they're down to their final 6, depending on if Kindred-Richland can score 3 in this inning or not. 1-1 pitch on the way. That'll miss. Now it'll be 2-1. So Olivia Pesa will finish with 4 innings of work today here for the Aggies. We'll get to her final line total here in a second. 2-1 pitch on the way. That'll miss for a ball. Now 3-1. Pesa, 4 innings of work, 110 pitches, 7 hits again, 14 runs with 4 of those being earned, 5 strikeouts and 5 walks with 7 hits again here for Pesa. That'll be a 5-pitch walk as Fuchsa will take first base. And for Kindred-Richland, they get the leadoff batter to first here in the 5th. Able to do so in the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and now the 5th. And every time Kindred-Richland had the leadoff batter able to come in and score. This one is going to be hit on the ground past the diving third baseman Pesa into left field. So now runners at first and second for the Vikings. So the board able to get aboard with a single there. Runner at second is Fuchsa. And now it's going to be Jansen Jordheim here for Kindred-Richland. Kindred-Richland 14 runs across on 8 hits right now. Velva Drake-Anamoose 7 runs on 9 hits. The lefty Clemens looks in against Jansen Jordheim. And that'll miss for a ball. Now 1-0. Taking a big lead there is Fuchsa off of second base. And Mackenzie Fuchsa, a dangerous base stealer here, as she's got a couple so far in this season. Kindred-Richland has 4 different runners that have at least 10 or more stolen bases. This one foul up the first base line, now 1-1. anytime you get to a state tournament, sometimes you get lucky, you come back in a game, you take advantage of the play in front of you. Other times you were just the better team on a particular afternoon or morning where it doesn't matter who you're going to play, you're going to find a way to win. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That'll miss for a ball and 2-1. And then sometimes they say in a third game, depending on how it goes throughout a tournament, the third game, you just got to find a way to win one. You're matching up against a team that's equally as good, if not as talented as you, and you just have to find a way to keep moving across and find a way to win. I know Kindred-Richland, they've taken a full advantage of some extra outs here today, but they've been the better team so far. The 2-1 pitch is missed. Now it'll be 3-1. That's nothing to take away from Velva Drake-Anamoose. They had a 4-2 lead going into the second inning, but since Danica Rathas came on, Rathas has been able to get strikes and able to get a better defense behind her, where Pesa had a really good performance. Just unfortunately for her, her team committed some errors, as that will be bases loaded now with the walk to Jansen Jordheim. Since Clemens has came on, a walk, a single, and a walk, bases loaded here for the Vikings in the bottom of the fifth inning. So the game-ending run is at first base with Jordheim if Fuchsa and DeBoer come in to score. As Essling will step in now. And Essling hits one right back to the pitcher. Clemens goes to home, and that will get the out there. So reaching will be Essling on a fielder's choice. Out at home is going to be Fuchsa. And now Avery Ammerman will be stepping up to the plate. 1 pitch, 1 out, and just what the doctor ordered there for Clemens. So she's got a third of an inning so far in the book, but she is responsible for all 3 runners right now around the base pass for the Vikings. And the pitch, swung on and missed. Now 0-1. Velva Drake-Anamoose, the Aggies here, as they will look in with Clemens. Behind the plate again, Bodine, and the 0-1 pitch. That'll miss out of the zone. Now 1-1. If Velva Drake-Anamoose can get back to the plate, they'll have Clemens, Miller, and Parenko do up the 5, 6, and 7 batters here for the Aggies in their lineup. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. This one is going to be nubbed but foul up the first base line. Now 1-2. It's a State Class B Girls Softball Tournament on your live event. Coming up a little bit later again, Thompson and Beulah trying to see who their respective counterparts will be tomorrow in either the consolation or the semifinals. That game was scheduled to get underway at 1 o'clock. It'll be a little bit later on here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit up right back up the middle. It's at least 1 run. A second run coming in to score as well. Avery Ammerman with a 2 RBI single here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. And she will take second base after the throw comes in as well to home. So Remy DeBoer comes in. Jordheim comes in. Essling sits at third base here. And now it's a 16-7 score here for Kindred-Richland. So Ammerman continues just to be a really good hitter here at the bottom of the order, as that one misses for a ball. It'll be 1-0 as Danica Rath has a chance to put this game to bed. If coming in scoring is Essling, it would be a 10-run mercy rule game here for Kindred-Richland. 1-0 pitch. This one is hit in the air, and that's going to be in front of the left fielder, and that'll do it. A final. Kindred-Richland wins it 17-7 after the Danica Rath RBI single, and that'll finish this contest off. 3 runs in the inning here for Kindred-Richland as they win it by a final of 17-7, a game that takes 1 hour and 42 minutes. So we know one team that is going on to advance, the 3 out of 4, and that'll be, again, the Kindred-Richland Vikings with a 17-7 win over Velva Drake-Anamoose. Our post-game show is coming up next here on your live event.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
As we come back here, the final 17-7 Kindred-Richland over Velva Drake-Anamoose. Let's get to our RDK Enterprises precision play of the game. And that RDK Enterprises precision play of the game comes back in the second inning where Jordheim hit Roland to Burchell to get the out at home with Olivia Miller after there was a single that came in on that particular hit with the double. Getting out in that game with the Nacho Parecho single to left field that goes over to Board's head. Jordan was able to cover, then go to Roland at short with the relay to Burchell to apply the tag at home to Miller. That is our RDK Enterprises precision play of the game. Now that you're getting into the field and planting across the Red River Valley, for more information, go to RDK Enterprises in Hillsboro and Drayton. It pays to be precision planting with RDK Enterprises. That is our play of the game. Let's get to some of the final numbers in this one for both of these teams. Picking up the win will be Danica Rath here for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. She'll go 3 innings, 5 hits against, 3 runs, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Cora Johnson started the game 2 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 punch-out, and 1 walk. Olivia Pesa picks up the loss for Velva Drake-Anamoose, 4 innings of work, 7 hits, 14 runs against, 4 were earned, 5 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Some of the leading hitters here today for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Maddie Burchell goes 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 3 runs driven in. Mackenzie Fuchsa 1 of 2 with 2 runs scored and 3 runs driven in. And how about this for Avery Ammerman, bottom of the lineup here, batting 7th. Ammerman 2 for 4 with a run scored and 4 runs driven in as well for Ammerman. For Velva Drake-Anamoose, 2 runs come across with Carolyn Bodine. She goes 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. A run batted in by Keller and Payson, also a run batted in by Clemens here for Velva Drake-Anamoose. So Velva Drake-Anamoose falls to 11-5 on the season. They will play in the consolation semifinals tomorrow at 11 o'clock against the loser of our next game between Beulah and Thompson. Kindred-Richland improves to 14-3 on the season as they will play the winner tomorrow. That'll be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that'll be upcoming here for Velva Drake-Anamoose and Kindred-Richland. So that'll be at 4 o'clock again for the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Your final box score, Kindred-Richland 17 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors across for Velva Drake-Anamoose, 7 runs, 9 hits, and 5 errors across for the Aggies. Again, your final 17-7, Kindred-Richland over Velva Drake-Anamoose. Coming up at around 1:15 will be Beulah and Thompson. We'll be back on the air at around 1:05 or 1:10 for that contest here on your live event as well. So again, your final in the State B softball coverage, Kindred-Richland with a 17-7 win over Velva Drake-Anamoose here on your live event. Game number 2 of 4 here on your live event coming up at around 1:15 again with Beulah and Thompson for the scheduled first pitch. Chase Miller here in Fargo. Have a good rest of your day and keep joining us here for softball coverage from the State Class B in Fargo.
We'll be right back.